GDI carbon buildup, why direct injection engines suffer, and what you need to know before damage sets in. Gasoline direct injection, GDI, have become the standard across many manufacturers due to their ability to improve fuel efficiency, increase power output, and reduce emissions. On paper, GDI technology sounds like a win in every category. In the real world, however, GDI engines come with a serious and often misunderstood drawback: carbon buildup. If you drive a modern vehicle and notice rough idle, hesitation, loss of power, poor fuel economy, or reoccurring check engine lights, carbon buildup inside the intake system may be the root cause. This issue affects vehicles big time. I mean, if you're going to be commuting, if you're going to be stop and go, if you're going to be taking short trips, you have to understand that GDI carbon buildup occurs, and it is destructive. So what is a GDI engine? Traditional fuel-injected engines spray fuel into the intake manifold, where it mixes with air before entering the combustion chamber. And this process naturally cleans the intake valves with gasoline, washing away oil vapor and contaminants over time. GDI engines, they work completely differently. In a GDI system, fuel is injected directly into the combustion chamber at extremely high pressure. While this improves efficiency and power, it eliminates the natural cleaning effect on intake valves. As a result, oil vapor, crankcase fumes, and exhaust gases begin to stick to the intake valves and ports, forming carbon deposits that harden over time. I mean, think about what carbon really is, right? This buildup is not a rare defect. It is an inherent characteristic of a GDI engine design. And you got to think about it. Even if you don't have GDI, you're still going to have carbon buildup in your engine, just in a different spot completely. So you're not going to get away from carbon. You definitely need to do fuel injection flushes to keep the fuel injectors flushed and firing in a perfect circle mist instead of dripping raw fuel. You definitely need to do carbon flushes so that you're flushing the carbon out. And I know we're not supposed to be using the word flush, but that's what you need to do. And you can call it whatever you want to call it. Semantics, really big time as far as I'm concerned. So what's really going on is there's a lack of fuel wash on the intake valves. You have positive crankcase ventilation, a PCV, a positive crankcase ventilation system. All engines produce blow-by gases that contain oil vapor. These gases are routed back into the air intake in the PCV system to reduce emissions. In a GDI engine, this oil vapor sticks directly to the intake valves instead of being washed away. And then, again, they might get washed away at the top, but they're not getting washed away at the bottom. Exhaust gas, so the EGR, the exhaust gas recirculation system, many modern engines recirculate exhaust gases back into the intake to reduce the combustion temperature and emissions. These gases carry soot and carbon particles, accelerating buildup on intake components. Short trips and stop-and-go driving, oh my goodness, it is so bad. I mean, so bad. Short trips are the absolute worst. And then stop and go, and then not driving your car at all. So think about that for just a second. Going down the road, going down the freeway is literally what the car was designed for. So common symptoms of GDI buildup. Carbon buildup rarely happens overnight. It develops gradually, and many drivers ignore the warning signs until performance is severely affected. Rough idle and engine vibration, hesitation and reduced acceleration, loss of power under load, poor fuel economy, check engine light, and misfires. So carbon buildup is not just a performance issue. Left untreated, it can lead to some serious mechanical problems: intake valve damage, turbocharger stress, catalytic converter damage, engine longevity reduction, and Fuel additives don't solve GDI carbon buildup. They just don't. Many drivers attempt to fix the carbon buildup using fuel additives or injector cleaners. While these products may help clean fuel injectors and combustion chambers, they cannot reach the intake valves on a GDI engine. Since fuel never touches the intake valves, additives poured into the tank simply cannot remove existing carbon deposits. At best, they can provide minimal preventative benefits, and at worst, they give drivers a false sense of security where buildup continues to worsen. So the proper methods of removing GDI carbon buildup is intake valve cleaning services. The most effective solution for removing carbon buildup is a professional intake valve cleaning service. This process physically removes hardened deposits from the intake valves and ports, restoring proper airflow. And you got walnut blasting is highly effective, technique that uses crushed walnut shells to safely remove carbon without damaging metal surfaces. This method is widely considered the gold standard for GDI removal. And then you got the chemical intake cleaning, which has limited effectiveness. Some chemical cleaning methods can soften lighter deposits, but they generally are less effective on severe buildup and may require repeated treatments. And then how often should this bad boy be performed, right? So there's no universal mileage number, as buildup depends on driving habits, engine design, and maintenance history. However, many GDI engines benefit from inspection and cleaning well before noticeable symptoms appear, especially in areas of frequent traffic congestion, like almost no matter where we live in the United States. And then regular inspections help catch buildup early, preventing costly repairs and maintaining peak engine performance. While carbon buildup cannot be completely eliminated, a proactive strategy can slow its progression. So if you think about it, once it's messed up, it's pretty much going to have to be physically removed. But before it gets messed up, then why not, change your oil like it's supposed to? Keep, the PCV valve, PCV system needs to be kept in proper health. And then, what we're really talking about is if you just do an actual chemical flush once a year, every 15K minimum, then you're going to stay on top of it. You stay in, it's called preventative maintenance, not once it's already got huge buildup, it's no longer maintenance, it's a repair. You have to really think about this kind of stuff. If your air filter is dirty, it's a repair. If your air filter is clean and you're replacing it proactively, preventatively, then it's called preventative maintenance. Doesn't mean that it's not dirty. It means that it's dirty to where you can't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not dirty. Think about it. If you wait until your transmission fluid is burned, that's a repair. And it could be a transmission repair, not just a flush. So if you're fluid flushing, I don't care what you call it, then ultimately you have to do it preventatively. So we change oil, quote, before it's needed, don't we? Well, we should be. And if you're going to change your oil, why not take care of everything else, right? So your carbon buildup is a design reality. It's not a failure. And GDI engines are powerful, efficient, and widely used, but carbon buildup is unavoidable. Understanding the issue, recognizing the symptoms early, and choosing proper cleaning methods makes the difference between a smooth-running engine and one plagued by reoccurring problems. And I'm just flat out begging you to know what you're dealing with. You have to know your car. That's what this is all about, is knowing more about your car, taking care of your car, finding a place that can actually help you take care of your car. Not being worried about being ripped off as much as you are worrying about taking care of your car. Stay safe, stay strong.